Hi everyone, hi Gonchik. Can you guys hear me? Yes, I can do that, Gonchik. Now it's enabled.
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Gonchik.
Excellent. Let me try to share my screen.
Yes, we can also see that, but just a minute. I take it to the main screen. And now everyone can see it. Yes. So I'd like to welcome Gonchik. Gonchik has been our friend. This is, I think, the second time he's presenting. He's one of our Russian friends, among other Russia community leaders who have been really helping us with the presentations and also being part of the community. And we have met a couple of times at the summit, before it used to be known as summit. And he's always asking how can he help. So I would like you guys to welcome Gonchik with a loud mic of applause. Yes. Welcome, Gonchik. The floor is all yours.
Good. Thank you for everyone. Thank you, Michael, for introduction. Are you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. I would like to add additional more information. Last 3 years, I am I moved in 2021 into Limassol in Cyprus. I am Atlassian community leader as a Cyprus Limassol as well. And mostly I do a lot of stuff related to performance. Today, I would like to a bit presenting for you some performance troubleshooting in data center Jira. I would like to say that just show me your metrics. If you're interested, if it will be all good, I can share in the future additional examples or more things. But for today, mostly we can start from the DAP and div. Before DAP and div, everything is starting to be metrics, because just make the sum of the simulation. We visit a doctor, therapist usually. What he checking out the saturation, temperature, blood pressure, and after that can provide the sum of the tablets, some drugs or something like that, or just said you can go. For today, I will be there as a therapist. Next time, if you're interested, I can show how to be the deep and dive things. It's a more general doctor, or the for emergency helpers and different things. How to make everything. For now, is a more general things. Actually, I like to be like a surgeon activity. Today is a therapist way. Just show me your metrics. Sorry, I have the million of the tabs and maybe lost my presentation stuff. Let me additionally introduce myself. I'm technical leader at Exness. I do a lot of stuff related with the trading infrastructure in Cyprus Island. Yes, more than 5 years I do the logs reading, especially logs reading. 10 years of fintech industry, and also I like the open source. I remember Michael said he's Africa's talking. He's more passionate to improving the technology and software development. Also, the overall the He's the population of the Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. It's very good. I'm proud to him, and I would like to say I'll be happy if you do also the same stuff in the open source, because I trust open source. Open source is everywhere. It's very helpful. And of course, Atlassian products. It's my useful and interesting stuff. By the way, how much time I have for my presentation, Michael? 5, 10, 20, 30?
You have 1 hour, 15 minutes.
1 hour, 15 minutes. Let me try to be like in the 40 minutes, and then the question mostly, or 45. Especially let me open the timer, because I can speak slowly and longer all day, all night, or I can speak shortly and step by step. Okay, let's start. Each presentation, I prefer to start from the safe harbor. Never trust me, just shortly, never trust me. Why? Because I do a lot of stuff on different installations. My examples can be related to the specific, very large installation. Maybe your installation can be the short, small, or you don't need to that improvement, because it will be more complicated. Why? Because in the performance issues, especially, the biggest interesting fact, some of the fixes super fast and super big increase. Then it's a small improvement. But if you have a lot of customers, a lot of things, it is really possible. Also, some of the configurations are small and short downtime, or downtime not needed, and therefore you need to double check. Also, the software in the world improving. This is the good thing. Operation system. Jira Data Center 10.3, if you know, it's a new LTS, quite good. Also, it's good stuff is related to. Finally, we have the dark theme in the data center side. Data center is mostly as you know, the alone on-premises instance. Before we had the server release, Sirpa, one node, but most of the companies not needed that high availability. Now high availability built in. That's why we need to think about that. That's it. Let's start. As I mentioned, today I'm the therapist. As a therapist, I would like to say everything you can fix it, most of the interesting fact, by yourself. Small detection, small things, especially CPU, GPU, RAM, PCI, fiber channels, storages, and everything, hardware. This is a self performance check. Usually, you can find the minimum requirements. That's why I just put one slide. Why one slide? Because it's quite easy. Just go forward. Nothing special. Just do it. This is the next one. Related to the real performance issues, related to metrics. As I mentioned, we have the different metric. We can have the different metrics. As a doctor said, temperature, it's like a CPU load, saturation. It's like a usage of the memory, physical memory, RAM. Or also the sum of the interview. Numbers usually the same. How the people just saying what's going on. But in the real, in different data, different doctors, surgeon, therapists, proctologists, they have the different things who can do different part of our body. It's like a simulation, I just want to say, because in software, in my opinion, it's almost the same. That's why I just would like to say it's a fancy issues, fancy thing. Let's start with terminology. Why I would like to focus on the terminology? Because usually some of the people doesn't know what does it mean. For example, let me ask you from the audience, who knows what is this hero counter per second, for example? Hero counter per second, it means how many heroes we are meeting in the logs. But is this really heroes? Yes, it is exact. But is this all heroes? No, because hero usually can be written by code by the developers. The written as an exception on the low level, on high level, or on application level, on the code level, different layers. That's why we need to know. Also, the interesting fact, for example, if you want to measure RPS, request per second, but sometimes there's some people just focusing on the not RPS, but focusing the first time byte. It means how much time we wait and exactly from the server. That's why the first time byte is sometimes interesting fact. Also, the good option on the high level to think about the business metrics, business monitoring. Who knows the business monitoring metrics? Some of the business metrics for Jira. From audience, I would like to hear if you have the possibility. Under business, it means the functionality metrics. Do you have some design? Michael, do I have the possibility to hear something from audience, or is it better to go forward?
Yeah, if you want to ask a question, I think guys could answer.
Yeah, my question is, who knows some of the indicator of the business functionality of the Jira? Okay, let me try to start from easiest one. Jira is a ticketing system. Very needful the metrics is how much time we spent for creating the Jira ticket. Open the form, fill it. Once we click create, how much time we spent, how faster. This is the like a main business metrics, because if you click the create Jira ticket, it is loading, responding. It is awful. Also, as I mentioned, form, opening the form. So also the metrics, the showing. The next one, quite critical, commenting. If you look into Jira is usually creating ticket, commenting ticket, and also reading the ticket. Nothing more. But don't forget about the statuses. Because if you click the change the status, if you remember from the 9.2, or if you remember the release, change into the drop down the statuses. That statuses is starting to be the especially different and adjusted. What does it mean? The changing the status using the on the low level OS workflow, the functionality. It's quite complicated things, which is interesting and good stuff. The next one, who passionate so with the agile boards, changing columns for tickets, stickers on boards. Here, terminology is done. We have the business metrics. Business metrics we will be focused on the creating, commenting, changing such agile boards. This is fair enough. Just open it as a website, as a form. But we need to the more theory. What exactly we need to, how to measure. Usually the people will start to say, just saying, we need to SRE methods, golden signals of monitoring. I especially put the links here, going forward, csdic.com golden signals Kubernetes. Usually it's almost everything the same. SRE.google also the same, using the functionality, which is very good. SRE, site reliability engineering, provided by the handbook, guidelines, the philosophy, the all stuff related things, by the firstly the Google, then supported by the main fun companies, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google as well. All of them just passionate to focusing because they have the big infrastructure. They have the good enough the processes improvements to go forward. Then all industry, the shared. So we need to focus first signal. Latency. What is with the latency? At the moment, I'm located in Cyprus, somewhere in the middle of the island. As I remember, you are located in Nairobi. From Nairobi to Limassol, distance, I'm Googling for now, it is almost 7,000 kilometers. 7,000 kilometers. Latency is 104 hours if I will drive by car. What is the latency? How much time I can go toward the destination area? Also, sometimes the people just saying RTT. It's a round trip. Round trip time. It means if I go from Limassol to Nairobi, go back. At the moment, this is if you remember, we have for now the distance 7,000 kilometers. But let me open the web ping from to Nairobi. Ping Limassol to. I'm just Googling. If you look, the distance between us, latency between us, so like in average 215 milliseconds. In max 216. Deviation is half milliseconds, which is something wrong was. It's quite fast, 7,000 kilometers. Therefore, we need to know big distance to go quite fast to transfer the data, like in a few seconds. We will have a lot of things, and usually we need to monitor because sometimes some of the people just say, my Jira loading is 3 minutes. It is the problem because located our server in Switzerland. I am based in Limassol. This is the big issue. If our server will be located in Limassol, everything will work fast. Unfortunately, not in that situation, mostly because if we look from Switzerland to Limassol, shorter distance, we don't need to, we will not incur the losing that much time. Something on the high level, on application level, this is the good things. Therefore, we need to have the next signal. As I mentioned, latency is the destination from how much time we're spending from one place to another, to a distance. It is like how faster we go away from the beer. You can see the girl. What time is it? Next one is a throughput. Why I mentioned? Because if you know, Jira has the biggest the files with naming batch.js, batch.css, also the board JSON and assets.json. This is the huge, under huge it means more than 10 megabytes or mostly more higher. The files, which is not splitting, not chunking. Chunking, it means transferring the portion by portion. Yes, from the release to 9.13 or 17, starting to the split. Also in Jira 10.3, split it into the chunks, which is very good and improvement of that signal. Throughput, it means how big, how many we can deliver in one batch. How big traffic? B, how many beds can check simultaneously? How much? How big traffic? Gigabyte. Next signal is errors, where I mentioned earlier. Errors is very good metrics, usually used once we delivered some functionality, and we can track. We have the more problems, not more problems, or something else. It is increasing, decreasing number of the errors. So and errors again, how to count. For example, if we have during the night 10 users, is there nothing? Because, for example, we install this site and 10 users, for example, can generate, like, let's say, during the open the one web form, like a 3 euros. It will be 30 euros. But we deliver it in our feature, which is generating only 1 euros per user. It will be 10 euros. During the midday, it's 10,000 customers, 10,000 euros. If we compare, we can make the mistake. How to correctly measure here? Usually, it can be the rate. Rate based on the how many correct records or all records, euros divided by all records. Then we can find all our stuff. Or correct records divided by all records. -1, it is the error rate, which is very needful for checking all errors and how does it looks. The next one, who knows, the one of the last golden signal. saturation. During COVID-19, everyone knows oxygen saturation in our blood. There's a percentages of some information. For example, how much percent of food we ate, with girl it means. How to look into the graphics. This is the real example where I just shown a request per minute. Why I just prefer the request per minute instead of request per second? Because it's quite low. It's not useful to me to us, and then I just split into a request per minute, 21. But it's also possible to change request per seconds. Latency 115, which is very good. Euros per minute 9.3. We can see the spike. It was some euros. And also technical metrics. Just 1 second. System metrics, CPU usage, memory usage, network receives, how many data we're transmitting, the throughput. It is good to everything is look into theory. Let's focus on the examples of the error rate. Better to investigating on the error rates level. What indicator will be the interesting for us? Again, it is the real example. So we can see error rate in Nginx. It's our load balancer. We just created, and the error rate is a number of the counters, and we can see. If you look into there, not a lot of errors. If we look here, a lot of errors. It's a number per 10 minutes, but the error rate lower. It means it's shown in reality problem was before. We need to investigate 30 of May instead of investigating 31 of the May. That was one of the neat, interesting example. Of course, in the later you can see starting to be the same, but again, don't forget error rate. As an example, I just mentioned, load balancer is load balancer. How about application level? Atlassian Jira Lock. Error rate quite high, 1, 2, 3, 4, but just sounds like high. But here in Nginx, we can see spike. Oh, just number of counts, not a lot. It means it's not big issue. But how about look into it together? Nginx, number counter, spike, and the mid of the spike we can see they usually the same. Do you see some problem? Quite interesting to look into the graphics. It's like a card diagrams of our heart. How does it work? Our heart? We don't know. Sometimes it's a magic. I will show you how to investigate that things. Before, let's open the Nginx. Check in our metric status duration. how much time is spent for changing the status. And better to everything to look in the percentile. Percentile is mostly interesting. Median, at 15% of the requests is happening. Or 80, it means 80% of the request meets that rate, that duration. Or 95 or 99. It's very useful. We can see, for example, on 99, it's a lot, but in the 95, it's just nothing, quite small. Sometimes don't need to focus on that issue. In that example, I would like to show sometimes you don't need to do something because that issues is happening not quite often because 95 the percentile is quite low instead of 99. But how to measure? In Nginx, you can use the web URL, let's say path secure workflow UI dispatcher.jsp. Then you can calculate how much time it happens by log format upstream response time, the variable upstream response time. By the way, you can find that one on the gonchik.medium.com or just copying that variable in the Google, you can find it. Quite easy. I hope it's quite clear for you. Let's focus next option. Our business metric. Status change during the how much time we spend, how much time we spend for duration, push notification, how much time there. It's everything you create by the Grafana, visualized by Grafana, collecting data into Elasticsearch, of course, parsed by the log bit put into Elasticsearch. And of course, all data, usually we use mostly the Nginx or the Atlassian Jira log. And how much time we spend creating issue from the portal side, quick creation, attachment duration, how much time we spend for adding attachments. It's quite easy and helpful, I hope. Do we have some instruments or methods or some activities from vendor side? Yes. If you open how to monitor Jira with Prometheus and Grafana, you can find all the search backed by Lysin evaluation time. It's in the cluster weight side. Cluster wide related again the percentiles, plugin key, number of searches, evaluation, and also 99 percentile of per node search evaluation. How does it work? What looking? Oops. Search counts last 5 minutes. And also web fragment. I really recommend you to open the web link and you can investigate and read how to implement it and monitor it by Atlassian, the cloud, and also the different systems in the Atlassian ecosystem, also how to recommend it to the customer. Of course, if you remember from version 9.1, this out-of-the-box solution, Prometheus exports not needed anymore. We can do and monitor out of the box, which is grateful. But we need to monitor our elements as well. Responses per minute by code, response time percentile, responses per second by method, requests second by method. Why we need to additional metrics we needed? because sometimes it's useful. If you remember, 200 usually is mostly the success. 300 is redirects, permanent redirects, move. 400 lost or something. 500 is a problem on the server side, and we can group and investigate. It's quite health system we can see, but also you can see on the outliers and percentile 90, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It is usually the analytics plugins, analytic related plugins on Power BI, which is slowness and not a lot, but mostly the just outliers, expectable weights. And the responses per second, quite good. It's also, you can see per minute, per second, how the how does it work with exposure. Requests per second, how many we have the requests per second. This is the real installation, which is I show you. As I mentioned, in 40 minutes, I have to finalize it. I would like to say in 37 minutes, thanks a lot. In the last 3 minutes, I would like to say, share my links. I will be happy if you read in a lot of information you can find in the gonchik.medium.com. It's in the blog. You can find, just drop me the message if you have the performance related issue. Thank you again. If you have the question, feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Gonchik. That was a great presentation. Give a lot of applause to Gonchik. So, any other questions so far?
If someone have some question, feel free to ask. In 1-2 minutes, I can close it because I thought everything will start 1 hour 40 minutes ago. That's why I'm just a bit confused.
Yeah, we still have 30 minutes to go. I have a question, Gonchik. So I was expecting maybe we could have set up the Jira Data Center. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
Of course, I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you interested, I can set up the data center, everything in the online next time. Maybe next weekend or somewhere else, and I will present and show how to do it, and maybe it will be helpful for you, everyone. Especially if you like Docker based, I will do it by the Docker if you're interested.
Yes, I think it's quite interesting. How many of you would be interested to see end-to-end data center setup for Jira? I think the whole room looks like.
Yeah, feel free. I will be happy if you add. Please drop me the message. Let's have it set up next time. I will show how to set up and how to make the testing.
Okay. Any other question in the room? Yeah. These are good. Do you understand anything? Anything? Yes. Were you lost? Where were you lost? That's why you asked the question.
Yeah, thank you. So next time let's do it together because unfortunately the colleague had a second presentation, Kevin. Unfortunately, he'll a bit have some of the headache issue, something like that, and we can do the second session. I would like to request if you don't have any our stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
On the chat. Okay. Mugabe is just thanking you for this presentation.
Good. I will share the presentation. No problem. That's it. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.